My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And once a year, I get to pick an episode because it's my birthday this month, and I get to decide what we do an episode on. Traditionally, in the past, we've done like deep dives about things that we like, but I was like, I don't want to do research this year.
I want other people to do it instead.
I want to have
other people do work.
I want to have a nice, relaxing time for my birthday episode. So I concocted a thing based on something we already do. So we do this thing called the Drama Exchange, where we usually secretly pick a name and then have to send them a drama or a movie that we think they would like, and then they have to try to figure out why we picked it, and also maybe who picked it for them. I've taken out the who picked it for them because I picked all of their dramas, and because it is June, and June is Prime Month, they are all BL dramas. So I have become the BL not-so-secret Santa, and I have delivered to them hand-picked BL shows that I thought they would enjoy. And they're going to tell you about those shows and then tell you why they think I may have picked them for them. And
we do also not know what each other got. So there's a bit of
secrecy. Like, only I know what everyone got. And Amanda is going to start us off telling us about the show that I sent to her. Amanda, what was it?
Natalia picked My Love Mix-Up for me. The Japanese version, which is all out, as opposed to the new Thai version, which is just getting going. It's a story about kids in high school. This boy who borrows an eraser from a girl in class for a test, and on the eraser it says, "I love boy" in front of boy, like this boy who's sitting in front of the boy with the eraser. This boy turns around and is like, "Oh, you love me?" Like, he sees the eraser and he's like, you love me? And he's like, our main character boy is just such a good, sweet being that he's like, I can't betray the girl's trust, so I will just pretend that it is mine. Hijinks ensue. So, yeah. It is adorable. It's so soft and sweet, and like, all the characters are good. Basically, everybody is nice. There is some depth to it. It's not just like cotton candy. It's not just surface level stuff, because you're dealing with these kids who are all having like a gay awakening, a bi awakening. I mean, the boy who's sitting in front basically is giving you some demisexual rep, because it had never occurred to him to like somebody before until he essentially gets confessed to. And then it's like, I should explore feelings. That's new. I'm going to try this thing, right? So there's a lot that goes on. The main character becomes sort of best friends with the girl that he initially had a crush on, who does not have a crush on the boy in front of him. Like, it was a classic. She'd erased the eraser so far that the last character got erased. And if you add the last character, different dude. Totally different dude. Name.
So it was really a mix-up. Like,
it was a true mix-up. It was a mix-up beyond mix-up.
Of mix-up. And there are some, like, it's just so cute. And these four people who are in this weird sort of love mix-up, love square, become best friends. They hang out all together. They're all super supportive of each other in their possible crushes, in their desires to find happiness, and it's just very, very sweet, very cute. There's a great scene at one point where the main character is trying to keep a brave face and stuff, but he has been sort of dissed by somebody over being gay. This person saw him and he's like, I can't, he promised to take him out. Like, if you get a good grade on your test, I'll take you out for ramen. And now that he knows he's gay, I can't take you out for ramen because, I don't want to, confuse you or whatever, right? And so this kid is upset, but he's trying to keep a brave face because he's a happy, good kid, and he's like, and he's telling these three, because they're like, we can tell something's out, and he tells them, and it's so heartbreaking. Like, I was crying for this kid because he's trying to keep a brave face, but he's clearly hurt. And man, like, that girl, she is just like, oh, I'm gonna go rip his face off now. Like, yeah,
she's
let's go.
Very fierce, okay? She is very fierce.
It's okay. And she's like, no, it is not okay. That's not okay, right? And like, it's just very, and you see all their different personalities in the way that they all try to help him through that, and it turns out okay, and it gets dealt with. A little,
it's not a high angst show. It's a very chill, fun vibe for most of the show.
Yeah, there's a lot of little, very, very meaningful moments, within the nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense. It's a high school rom-com with nonsense, right? But there's also little moments like the boy, Ida, whose name was on the eraser, who's sort of exploring his feelings and stuff. At one point, one of his teammates just says to him, like, you can't just explore your feelings at, like, this other kid actually has feelings. So if you're just exploring your feelings to see how you feel, you're stringing him along, and that's not cool. And he's sort of like, oh, like, I thought it was being nice. And he's like, no, see, you try to be nice and not hurt people's feelings, but in this situation, that actually hurts their feelings more. Like, it's better to just reject somebody if you don't like them than to pretend, right? So there's some really good, solid stuff in there that I think, especially since it is geared towards, I would say, a younger audience. Like, not that I, as an adult, very much enjoyed it, but I think there's a lot of really good sort of lessons and moments that watching this, you could be like, oh, yeah, okay, I never thought of that way, and get some good things out of it that way.
Is it on Viki? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
What did Viki rate it?
Oh, you know what?
We should check up on that.
That's why I asked.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Let's look at it.
Find out.
So
Amanda was saying,
I did not have to log into my Roku, so it was not NC-17.
Okay.
It's
bonus.
It's PG-13. It's a G. Okay.
It's a G.
Okay. There's absolutely nothing not G-rated in this show.
No,
like, it's the most innocent little. I can't say that for the other shows that were recommended today, but for this one, it is a G-rated show.
Like, when we talk about the thing that this person saw that, like, made him, they were holding hands. Like, they held hands.
Oh, PG-13 for sure.
Two men's hands intertwined. What? We must protect the children.
Children.
Oh, no, it's literally the most G-rated show that's ever existed. Like,
I laughed. Like I said, I did literally cry. Like, there were moments. It's very, very well done, very well put together, very well acted. Everybody in it is just great. My daughter at one point came in and was like, what are you laughing about? And so I'm explaining and she's like, that's amazing. And then she's like, I think I'll watch it. And I was like, yeah, cool. And I said, oh, there's actually a Thai version coming out. And she goes, oh, well, maybe I'll watch that one because it'll be on YouTube and it'll be easier for me, right? Because she's always on YouTube anyway. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Go for it.
I think my favorite
to like start the Thai one to see what the differences are. But
there's a lot of like little like just little mini jokes that like carry over between scenes. And my favorite one is that it's basically like idiot and stoic, like idiot sunshine and stoic together. Like that's like the relationship trope. And the stoic guy is played by Meguro Ren, who is
oh my gosh,
always excellent in everything.
So good.
Always
so
great.
good.
But he has like a cute little dog. So at one point, like the little dumb one is like, they're going on a date, and he's like, oh, there's this movie that like, look, it stars a dog that looks like your dog. Like, let's go watch this movie. And then it cuts immediately to him crying and being like, I didn't know that it would die in the movie. And the guy's like, it's fine, it's not real. Like, it's not my dog. It's okay. Like, it's just like, that's the vibe of the whole show.
Yeah.
It's just
it's
like
so
this stoic guy just standing there being like, it's okay, while this little like ball of energy just overreacts to everything. At one point he's like, I'm trash, I'm such trash, and then he steps into like a trash can and kneels down. He's like throwing himself out. It's like, I just love it. I love this show.
High schoolers on point. That is
how
they
right?
very dramatic. Like he's at one point he's like spying on him because he's on the volleyball team, and he has like a little pair of opera glasses that are totally unnecessary because he's less than 100 feet away from him. It's just a lot of good gags going on. So Amanda, why do you think I chose this one for you?
Because it's just good and sunshiny, and I mean there was a sports aspect. The one player was on a sports team, and that did play pretty solidly into the story. So there was that extra little bit there, but I think just it was an easy watch. It was just an easy watch. There was no surprise serial killer. There was no high stakes anything. Yeah. It was just kids falling in love and dealing with
being
stuff.
Cute.
Like, feeling cute, learning to deal with their feelings and
their emotions. That's the last you'll hear of that vibe today. I hate to say it. If you were looking for easy watching, end the episode now. That's all you're getting.
Well, see ya.
I did done tailor every episode to each person on the podcast. So,
I appreciate it. So thank you very much, Natalia.
I'm glad that you liked it. That was my goal, was to give you all a drama that you liked. So,
and that was 10 episodes too. Like, how long were the episodes?
They're like 25 minutes, so
short ones.
Yeah, like it was.
This guy's like,
quick, easy watch.
So everyone else got short
how
episodes. Okay, I see. This guy's also the only one who didn't get a J drama, so yay. Next up, I went on now for something completely different.
Absolutely different.
With a show for Jessie that I have been dying for Jessie to watch ever since we watched Personal Weatherman together. And the show I gave Jessie was My Beautiful Man, and she didn't just watch season 1.
I didn't.
She watched season 1. She watched season 2. And if you're a member of the Found Family, next week there will be a special review episode, a movie review that Jessie and I will be doing of the My Beautiful Man movie.
It's not like all the episodes smushed together type movie.
No, it's an actual it's its own story. It has a separate plot and everything. Yes. So Jessie, tell us about My Beautiful Man.
Oh, what can I tell you? I know that Vicky is probably rating it NC-17, so right on the back. Let's find out, actually.
Let's find out.
But
while you tell, I'll look it up.
Unlike Amanda's, mine does start in high school, with kids not behaving like high schoolers. So essentially the storyline is this boy who is very shy and quiet and doesn't really like anything, is in love with his classmate who he thinks is the most beautiful man in the world. He's his muse, essentially. He's who he takes pictures of all the time. Everything is for this boy, and the whole entire drama is spent with him doing stuff for him kind of aggressively, and sometimes there are fantasies that go far beyond what they should. He's a little not really mentally well sometimes. But you know what? Love does that to people, I guess. Especially him.
Yeah, especially him.
The poor kid is like a loser in the school, and like everybody makes him go do stuff, and he's always like getting drinks for everybody and paying for things and that sort of thing. And the boy that he likes is popular, but he like doesn't do the things that other people do to the extent that they do. He's still like standoffish and tsundere and that sort of thing, but he is nice in a way. Like if he's like, go get me a drink, he will actually give him money for the drink type of situation. So the first 2 seasons are like, they really just like fall into each other. Like it's more of like part 1 and part 2, as opposed to like seasons being different. Like really it's basically, you know, the first season is the ending of their high school, and then the second season is starting college, but it's like there's no break really at all. And then the movie is also kind of part of that as well, but then it also starts like a whole different plot, because one of the other things that happen is that the main guy, the popular guy, he's actually an actor, and that's what he wants to do in life. So it like kind of focuses more on the path of their professional careers. So it's crazy.
It's a crazy show.
It has some wild parts. It like in ways that you don't expect, and in ways that you do expect, and it keeps you guessing. There's not a lot of communication involved in it as well, because they both don't communicate well, period. Like they really both are like very quiet kids that don't want to talk to anybody. It's wild. I don't even know what more to say about it, because it is just like the aspects of it being wild, with one boy who's just so head over heels for his muse, like, that he is willing to do anything and everything to help him.
It's not like he's just in love with him. He like worships him as like a deity.
Yeah.
And it's like and
it's like noted by every character. They're like, that the weird kid, the like, yeah, are you concerned for your safety? Like,
yeah. But meanwhile, like it's sort of, so his mental problem is that he's obsessed with this guy.
Yeah.
But this other guy's mental problem is that he's been yearning his whole life to have someone notice him.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And
so it's like really, they really are just like the perfect pair somehow.
You know how we were like sort of joking about how like in Personal Weatherman, there's such a friggin' red flag, but they could only be together.
Yeah.
Right? That's the vibe of this as well. Where you're just like, oh my goodness.
And I will say the like real big thing about the like at least the drama, they don't go into it all. It's never about them being two boys together. It's not like that's not part of the plot of anything. It's just that he's the weird kid, so it's like, you want the weird kid hanging out with you? Really? Are you not scared? Especially because he's doing a lot of things. If someone wrongs him, he's there.
The like what's so interesting is because he's so mild-mannered.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's mild-mannered all the time, and he lets anyone like he's a pushover. Like he lets anyone do anything. But the minute anyone does anything to this guy, psychosis
he just
takes over.
Yeah,
like it is a wild show. But I gotta say, like the last episode of season 1 has some of the best acting I've ever seen in
They
a
do
J-drama.
a really good job
Like-
in this drama, like in a
Like
whole.
the actor character who's
Mhm.
like, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's. I don't like they put their whole everything into this show,
it
and it
does-
is the most toxic show.
It
Like
weirdly has some really great moments, like really stand out, like great moments, and then it turns again. But like you're in that moment, you're like, oh, okay. I think the where you see that the most is in the movie, and we'll definitely talk about this in our review. Funnily enough, I think I like the movie the best out of like all
the
three.
movie was really good.
Yeah,
like.
so. Well, and I will say, like, just like as a like little thing, just in case you're thinking about the movie actually kind of like mostly follows what an actor idol has to deal with in life, and then just them growing in their professions and trying to figure out what they want to do with life. So, kind of, it's less about schooling and like being so obsessive about each other because they're like.
They're still obsessive about each other.
Yeah, but it's not like,
But they've got other things to do at the same time. Yeah. The other thing that I love about this show is how misleading the opening credits are.
Yeah.
Because the opening credits are horrifically adorable.
They're
very
super adorable. And then there's a rubber ducky.
There's a rubber duck. There's like a rubber duck symbol that like comes up all the time.
Coming up all the time.
And it just seems like you're about to watch.
Do illustrations, but it's like they'll do line art around the people. Like it's not a full illustration.
Yeah,
thing.
And so it leads you to believe you're about to watch like a fun little gay rom, and then it's just like angst, obsession, angst,
or like also like in the very beginning. Like you're seeing as like this kid's parents like got a new job and they're like, you have 1 year left of school, so we'll just like get you to stay in your dead grandpa's house by yourself for the last final year of high school.
Yeah, and it's like, I know you have no friends. I know you have a horrific stutter that like makes you very uncomfortable and makes everyone make fun of you. And you don't communicate with anyone, and all you do is take pictures so you can hide behind the camera so no one notices you. And we have fun. You're gonna be doing great.
It's like the mom's like, you're gonna be good, right? As like the dad's like taking all of her stuff and like they're walking off screen, and you're like, huh. Interesting.
I love it when J-drama parents do that at whatever age. It could be high school, or it could be as far as like for the contract marriage ones. It happens a lot too. It's like the daughter that depends on them, and all of a sudden it's like bye. Like they're just like,
we're moving to the countryside. See ya. Yeah, and then you never see the parents again. Like the parents, they've died. They're not relevant.
They don't come to like any sort of thing.
In the movie, you do meet his cousin, but like she's just like there. Like she's like, but they're like adults at this point. Now, do you want to hear the most ridiculous thing I discovered while looking this up on what it's rated on Viki?
What is it rated on Viki?
Every season and the movie are all rated PG-13.
Are you serious?
It's rated the same as Accidental Love Mix-Up.
Listen, it's
There's
not
full-on sex scenes in this one.
but it's not like super like
they're not explicit, but you know what's going on.
But they actually do things, and they're there's
violence,
like the last episode of the second season, or like the first. I can't remember. Yeah, like there are scenes you're like, okay, kids are not allowed to watch this, or like,
you
know
what
rated.
It's rated the same as My Love Mix-Up. Viki, you've done it again.
There's also violence in the movie too, like so.
Yeah. Viki, why are we playing these games?
Right.
Like, I would have been like, yeah, this is fine being rated R. Like, I would have been like, okay, I get it.
Absolutely.
Like,
I believe that.
Some things are for grown-ups. Like, and that's okay.
And like, this is clearly for grown-ups. Like, I wouldn't. Absolutely. I don't think that a teen would watch this and get anything out of it. Like, at
They'd be
all.
like, boring.
They'd be like, this guy's fucking weird. Let's get out of here. But PG-13.
That's
Viki,
so
I keep thinking
crazy.
I can forgive this rivalry, and at every step, I get pulled back in.
Well, and then when they do the little Pride Month tweets,
and then you're like,
We see. Just we see.
So Jessie, why do you think I picked this drama for you?
Oh, I don't know. What could you possibly have picked this drama for me? Because so we did say My Personal Weatherman at the very beginning. It is definitely, if you liked My Personal Weatherman, you'll like this show. Yeah. It has the same level of toxicity and weirdness of it. I will say that I did enjoy My Personal Weatherman more than this, but I didn't hate this series. Obviously, I watched it all basically in a day. So I mean, it's not really hard. When we say 2 seasons, the first season 6 episodes, the second season's 4.
It's one season that they just split into 2.
Yeah, they really did need to split them up, but whatever. Maybe something on the back end is the reason why
I'm not sure if they were ever going to make season 2, but then season 1 got so popular because season 2 came out 2 years after season 1.
Oh, okay,
or something like that.
Okay,
because season 1 came out in 2021.
I didn't even look to see the years.
Yeah, and then the next one came out
in terms of the show, they didn't do much of jumps at all.
No,
it was pretty much
it had all of the same characters.
Yeah,
it was the same actors were playing.
That's kind of impressive given
all they did was add. Yeah.
Even between the movie and the that has the same actors, even in the bit parts of his photography club at college, it's it's the same actors coming in for 2 lines.
Yeah.
So
we you definitely picked this for me because we share a love of really toxic relationships in drama, not in life.
Dramas. In real life, you want nothing to do with it.
Especially the J drama, crazy.
Especially J drama.
Yeah, it just something about it. It gets us, and we've talked about it multiple times. And we have our live stream on J dramas. We also dive into this love, so it's definitely I think anybody who watches it would be and who listens to us on the podcast and kind of knows our deal, you'd be that's why Natalia picked it for Jessie, obviously. It is, while it is crazy, in terms of, some of it is in that kind of, level of heightened comedy-esque pratfall type deal, I didn't hate it. It was just,
it never goes, outside of the realm of real people. It's just this guy's crazy.
He's willing to do anything and everything for his boy. That's really what it is. And nobody's going to slight him. Nobody. Not students, not teachers, not people on the street. Nobody's going to come after this guy. So, I mean,
and this guy is just you're so creepy. I love it.
Okay, I love it. That's cool.
Please,
I'll
never
just
stop.
Please do more.
Here. Please never stop loving me.
Okay, let's have a party.
But at the same time, he's I want you to love me, but not worship me. But at the same time, I kind of like it. But also maybe calm down, but don't calm down.
Quiet down. There's a lot of tug and pull. Secondarily, I don't know if you picked this because of that. Because he's into acting. There's a good bit where he's working on a play, and stuff. So that kind of tracks with me because that's what I do in life. But
yes,
I can see that.
Maybe a little. There's a lot of scenes at the dinner theater where he works before being discovered. So, I really enjoyed My Beautiful Man, and I thought that you would enjoy it.
I had a lot of fun watching it. I was yes. And especially because it was nice because I had mentioned, I was you know what? I need a good toxic romance drama, and I haven't been finding one lately.
They just haven't been making him that toxic anymore. And then I said, happy birthday to me, for me too. I should say,
I'm yes.
My present for you on my birthday is toxic gay love. Enjoy, have fun. So there's 2 for 2 that Vicky has rated. Classic Vicky.
Will they
nonsense.
make it 3?
No,
it's not on Vicky.
Because the last one is not on Vicky.
It would have to at least be PG-13. It wouldn't be NC-17.
It would be R, I think, because of stuff that happens. But
true.
It is on Gaga Ooh La La.
It was North America, as far as US. I don't see it on Gaga.
Oh, it's not on Gaga. Anyway, I did. It is.
It used to be on Gaga. It is on Youku.
Yeah,
Youku for sure.
Which is a bizarre place for it to have shown up because it is not Chinese. And on MDL, it is rated R. Like, it does have a rate. Like, it was from the company, which was ironically GMM from Thailand. GMM1, so not like the GMM TV division, but their legit TV division, GMM1. They said it was rated R. And I gave it to Sky, and there was a lot of elements in it that I was like, Sky. When I watched it, I said, I think Sky would like this. Take it away, Sky. What did I give you?
So the title is I Feel You Linger in the Air. It was from 2023, 12 episodes. MDL says 46 minutes. That's a lie. It's usually an hour or more. Just so you know, which is good. I thought the length was always great. It was totally fine. It's just that I was binging it very quickly, so it was like time was the thing. So loved it. I will preface that. It's hard to explain.
When she gets into the explanation, like, everyone on this podcast is going to be like, okay, yeah, obviously this was the one Natalia
Well, I mean, as far as, like, the low-hanging fruit is time travel. Like,
it's time travel? Because I fear time travel. I'm feeling the time travel vibe.
But I think one thing I want to highlight about the time travel thing is, like, you get that in the first episode, like, modern dude, time travels back. They don't really ever, and then it's just, of course, he's kind of fish out of water and all that a little.
Oh no!
But as far as like, do they really?
No. Sky, you gotta restart where you were saying you
I cut
totally
out?
froze.
Yeah,
you froze
they
for
don't
everyone.
ever really.
Freezing for me now.
So just go from like
no.
Oh no, you're frozen now too.
Again. Oh, she's back. She's back.
Okay,
so just
you guys said I froze, and then you three froze. So like my internet must have had a blip. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You don't need to apologize.
What did I say?
So you said, speaking of the time travel.
So speaking of the time, so time travel, you get in the first episode, of course, because you have this modern dude, and you see his longtime boyfriend break his heart, and then he gets depressed, and then shenanigans, and poof, he gets, you don't know what, it's not like, oh, this is obviously magic, or oh, this is obviously anything, you don't really know why. I mean, he does fall into a river, but like, as far as, it's not like, oh, there's a shaman or something. So then of course, there's a little fish out of water bit, but it's way more subtle than usual. He's not like, he's a fairly calm character. So like it took him a long time to figure out that he wasn't in the right time. It was very, very, he thought he was like, he thought he ended up in a, like, reenactment village type thing. And so he kept trying to talk to people like, you know, like it took him like half an episode, maybe a whole episode, to figure out that he wasn't in the right time. It was pretty funny. And they never even straight up tell you what year. And what's also funny is I don't have a very big background in period Thai anything, so like I really don't know much about that.
One sec.
Did I?
I don't just start from I don't really have a big background in and go from there. She's gone again.
There I am. Okay.
Okay. The way that it froze though, your face was like
sad. I don't have a really big background in watching period Thai dramas, so I don't. Not that you need like this huge cultural background knowledge thing, but when you know nothing, it's a little extra zhuzh to it, because it's like I have no idea as far as the setup of kind of a household, and then you have a lot of servants that are like the common, like I'm just not used to it. I know way more about like Korean dramas or something, but like so Thai stuff, I'm like I have no idea what's going on. So that was kind of, I kind of felt fish out of water with the main character a little bit. it's really hard to explain, but essentially what kind of got me is before he time travels, he sees some drawings and he's an architect renovation type dude and artist, and he this old house. And so like everything's tied to the house, but that's about all you know. Like that's really maybe the magic of the house. And anyway, he has visions of like himself in the past. So like he's like, and who's that guy? Like, who's that hot guy that I was in bed with? Like, that's like a thing. I don't know that guy. Like,
I don't know this man.
That is not my ex-boyfriend. I do not know who that man is. So then when he time travels, and it's not like he automatically meets that guy, but pretty soon after, when their eyes met, they're like, I've seen you in a dream. But they never say that anyway. The fact that they never revisit the time travel mechanics until like episode 10, 11 is really kind of funny to me. So really, you're like solidly
in the past.
Period tie drama.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Now, as far as like, yes, throughout the whole thing, he has little bits of like, he'll kind of drop like, oh, in the future, but he never says to his new love at any point, like, I'm from the future, or we've had dreams about it. They never like say out loud. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny, but like, it's very hard to explain the plot. The fella that was in the drawing and all that stuff that he did not know and then he met, he's like the son of a noble family, I guess. I guess not noble, but he kind of calls it noble. They own a lot of land and things like that. And so they have servants, and so he kind of becomes because he's having to say that he lost his memory because he doesn't know how else to like lie about being from the future. He knows to not be crazy. But it's kind of cute, like how he ends up, becoming a servant, and so then you kind of see the servant side of things, and there's a guy that kind of takes him under his wing to become his friend servant, like make sure the guy survives type thing, and that guy's pretty nice, and so machinations, and right the moment that guy sees Jom, he's like, oh, you, because I've seen you in a dream. But like, I'm not going to tell you that, but I've seen you in a dream. And like he is gone. Like, the noble guy, he is gone the moment. It is pretty funny. And I'm not sure, it took John a long time to figure out that something was going on there other than just friendship, but that's fine.
Listen, he's just a confused dude who somehow he's found himself in the 20s for some reason. He's confused.
The costumes are really, really cool, because like you have the traditional attire for like the servants and things, and then you do have the 20s, like you have some
Western
like, European attire, Western influence for some of the other stuff. There's just so much going on with the plot, but at the same time kind of not. It's very but anyway, I'm not going to explain the whole family or anything because that's kind of boring, but what I do want to highlight is let me look at the character's name. So Kanyai, he's the noble son person. He has an older sister who has been married to a foreigner for a while at least. They don't really ever say how long, but it's been a while. And you eventually figure out she's been lovers with her like main maid for a very long time, like even before she got married. Lesbians! So you have a lesbian plot line, and it is solid, and they get a lot of screen time.
Awesome.
So that's great. And then you even get like there's a club, like obvious like queer club, and you see like trans representation. There's a lot of stuff going on. So it's pretty cool, and a lot of it's kind of subtle, and some of it's subtle, some of it's a little bit more like discussed overtly. But as far as like the love plot line, it's just very, very soft. These are soft boys. Like they gaze into each other's eyes constantly. It's a lot of just I pet your face as I look at you. Like just it's very, very soft feelings the entire time. I will say you have to suspension of disbelief a little bit that the noble son is like 20. It's like, okay, yeah, he's 20. Yeah, just pretend that he's 20.
Okay, if you say so.
Sure, Dan.
Like, no, that there's okay. Let me look up how old the character
is. He's
the
28.
Actor is.
The actor
28,
is
yeah.
28.
There's no way that person was under 25. There's literally like, because they. And the reason I say that is because it was always like, oh, he's just barely out of being a child and stuff. I'm like, this is a man. That's a man. There's a lot of man stuff going on. It's just so soft. I'm trying to remember. So, like, they're very hurt comfort trope. Like, they just constantly, that is what their thing is. And as far as, like, the, like, rated R level stuff, they don't.
It's very intimate. Like it's more
everything's
nice
very
than
intimate.
anything.
It's not really as much skin as you would think. It's more like with the bad husband of the sister. Like he's a bad dude. So he does some bad things, and you don't even see. They just show a little, and then it's like bad things happened type. That's where their R really comes more into play than anything else. It's not really. So many explicit scenes. It's like barely things were implied.
Even on MDL, it says it's rated R for violence and profanity, not for sexual content.
Yeah, it's not. It would be really pushing it to try to. Yeah, it's not. So things I wrote down were, don't fuck with the girls and the gays. So like that came into play way later, and I can't tell you all about all that. But so like. Plot-wise, you have just a lot of soft emotions, and then you kind of are concerned like, they're gonna get found out at some point, and that's gonna be not great. Like that's what you're mostly concerned about.
Yeah.
But there's like other serious like, there was a murder at one point, like not with the main dude or anything, but like the family's in power, and there's just kind of So anyway. Everyone's kind of been working behind the scenes to make bad people get their comeuppance. And then the comeuppance has comeuppance, and it was very good. Like, that's... I know Natalia knows that I like it when that's given out.
She likes it when people get what's coming to them.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And this show, people get what's
Dramas love to give
them.
passes to people, so...
They don't do that in this one. They're like,
well,
no.
And also,
Nice.
They peppered it in so small throughout. It's like you kind of knew something was going to happen, but you didn't know it was going to be like dramatic dinner party reveal moment. And there was a dramatic dinner party reveal, and I was like, "Whoa, like, we're doing it this way." And then even kind of like in the midst of that, even kind of calling out homophobia a little bit, like, "Oh, you think that's bad? No, like killing people, that's the bad thing. Don't even."
Right.
You're like, listen, gay stuff? That doesn't even track. People be murdering out here, and you're concerned with some gays? Yeah, no.
There's a lot of really sweet friendships, like amongst the servants and things, and it's very hard to explain. But as far as even like kind of the main servant guy that you see a lot, like he has a crush on the maid that's a lesbian, and he doesn't know until way later, and he confesses his feelings and gets rejected, and then of course he's hurt, but like he still is her friend and does things for her, and she's like ultimately did a huge thing for her, and she's like, why are you helping me this much? I still love you, like you're still beloved to me, like you're still my friend. She's like, I'll always be your best friend. It was like friends. There was a lot of friends.
Nice.
Friends helping friends, or even like, because there was a whole, so the older sister, the lesbian sister, like she even kind of arranged for a second wife to come in, so that could become the favorite wife, and she didn't have to deal with her husband, which like understandable. But then like the second wife, come to find out, she's doing it to like get back at the guy. Like it's a whole thing. And so then of course the ladies like end up like apologizing to each other, and then they're like friends. There's like a lot of friends. And then that's why it's like, don't mess with the girls and the gays, because the girls like banded together and like took that guy out. So anyway,
actor playing him was incredible, by the way. Like, he did playing the villain.
Yeah.
He's Thai Swiss playing a guy named Robert. Incredible work. Like,
and he wasn't like cackly. He wasn't like cackly evil. He was like
believable,
believably
horrible, abusive husband. Believable.
No.
Like,
right.
Like, in the 20s, terrible husband. Like,
and even as far as the abusive husband thing, very much within the realm of normal life abusive, not extremely more than what. No, it's kind of the normal the normal bad levels of that. But even with like all the bad to the servants, just bad dude, but not like twirling mustache villain fake. It was pretty realistic.
Right.
But he kept on going like, why did the dad ever trust anyway? And not a cackly bad dad either. Like, the dad was just kind of power hungry. It was a whole thing. It's just so beautifully acted. Like, the emotions, everyone in the emotions were so good. I love it.
I knew she'd like it. I knew. Like, I was like, I got this show for you, Sky.
It definitely doesn't have a lot of like comedy in it by any means. So it's not like, ooh, even when it's fish out of water stuff, it's not like funny haha stuff. It really is like, oh, he's not understanding that he's not in the right place. Like, poor guy. So why did you pick it for, like, I'm curious, aside from the obvious time travel and like they're soft boys. They are soft boys.
Listen, it had all the elements of a show you would like, okay? It had time travel. It had, like, a really nice, sweet main relationship. It had lesbians. It had found family. It had it all. Okay? It had the most, it literally had some of the best acting I've seen out of a Thai television show in years. Like, and I was just like, which makes it even funnier to me that it's the director of Thorn Type.
How?
Listen, by the way, this director, he said, I'm only making BL shows. And he's made some real bangers, okay? Not only did he do Thorn Type, he was also the director of Lovely Writer, which was fantastic. He also was the director of Something in My Room, Ghosts. He also was the director of Step by Step, which, like, was a bit of a divisive one. I liked it. A lot of people didn't. And then he's also going to be directing Yin War's new heist one that they're doing, Jack and Joker, that comes out later this year. So I'm just like,
yes, I've seen stuff about that one.
So I'm just like, you know what, banger after banger from this guy. Like, say what you will, he makes shows that people like, and this show was no exception. But like, I just thought that every single element of this show said Sky.
It just had that aura, that like feel.
I was like, who? Because it was the sort of show that I was watching, because this happens a lot more than you would think, because like what I'm about to say, just know Sky and my mom are nothing alike, but Sky and my mom have very similar television tastes.
Okay.
Strange. Like, I don't know, but it's like every time I watch a show with my mom, it's a show that you then watch and are like, oh, I really like that show. Like, so I'm like, I don't know. Like, this feels, I feel like my mom would really like this show. And so, in fact, I think like most people would really like this show. Like,
it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does.
It's an excellent show. It does have a few, like heavy moments. So like if people are, like can't.
Every female character, amazing. Like it
Cool.
So a BL that also is women heavy too. Like I wish to emphasize that. So like of course you have the main couple, dudes, but then honestly, as far as who kind of has more progress within the rest of the story, it's honestly women.
All the ladies.
So like even the mom later on when things come to head, and she pretty much says to the dad like, you have sacrificed your children's happiness for power, and I will be making decisions now. I have been passive. Like, you know, like, just the women are just, like, popping in this, like, BL. I'm like, hello. Like, the way that worked out was... I mean, so you get... It's very... already not believable with time travel, but then near the end, as far as women really going into their power, which is great, but it's like... time-wise, some of this would not be able to happen, but like I am enjoying it. It's totally fine.
Listen, we gotta just take the wins where we get.
Yeah,
you do. Like,
I will say, like, another aspect is, and okay, for the record, I have not seen the very last like episode-ish, and I will like right after we finish recording. But I'm kind of confused by the time travel mechanism still, because like for instance, the ex-boyfriend is also a character in the past.
He get reincarnated into the future. It's fine. Reincarnation exists.
It's fine. It's fine. But it really is the poor main guy, poor John. Like the moment he sees his like recently broken up with ex-boyfriend in the past, like.
Like, it wasn't like just like an amicable... It wasn't just like an amicable bracelet. Like, literally, he came back from overseas and was like, I got engaged while I was overseas, so I'm breaking up with you.
Oh my
like, it wasn't like a...
bad.
It was a nasty breakup. Like, it wasn't
So then poor Job, like, time travels, not having a good time with time travel, and then all of a sudden he's like... ex-boyfriend, like, walking up to... Not okay. Like, no.
It had sort of, like, the same time travel mechanism as Scarlet Heart.
That's
where
what
it's
I was
like,
thinking.
you don't really know how or why they time traveled, okay? It just happened.
It's more like
travel just happens.
I just kind of kept waiting until maybe halfway. I was like, I at least wanted the two main guys to say out loud to each other, like, hey, by the way, I did see you in like a dream. Like, I thought, because they're very intimate with each other.
Crazy,
they share everything though. They're so intimate and all these things, and I'm like, you can tell him you saw him in a dream. It's okay. Like, he's not gonna think you're crazy. But then finally, near the very end, it's like, oh, BT dubs things. Finally, I'm like, thank you for like saying it out loud.
Thank you for communicating with each other.
And
this guy also loves communication. So
they're really good. But that's why they're really good communicators. And I was like, say it, come on, because this is good. Something's gonna happen. And I think that's kind of another funny thing is it's so soft, it's so cute, it's so intimate. And the whole time before they got found out, I get really paranoid watching shows like that because I'm like,
what are they gonna do?
Especially if there's the camera angles that are sometimes kind of like a sneaky camera angle, and I'm like, is that someone's POV?
Yeah,
right.
It kind of became one once, and I was like, see, I knew this was coming. Like, here it is. So I really, really highly recommend it. It is heavy, but I think it is also not... I do know it's R, but like I don't think it's near as brutal as
a lot of other things.
A lot of other types of shows that kind of cover that type of content.
Like, it's not as violent as Scarlet Heart, and Scarlet Heart's only rated like PG, so like, you know, do with that what you will.
Like if you compare it to, for instance, historical K-dramas, like this is
nothing.
Light. This is light compared to that. And even as far as we're gonna punish a servant. It's like throw him in jail without like dinner. Like, I mean, and whipping. I mean, but it really compared to like K-drama historicals where you're like, oh, like lots of blood. Oh my gosh, like all of a sudden, lots of things happening. It's gorgeous. Like as far as the acting, like I really do recommend it. So. It was a good one. Thank you, Natalia.
Welcome. See, for my birthday, I just wanted to give all you presents instead.
How sweet.
Sweet. I'm just so kind and not having to do any work with them. No. Well, anyway, thank you for hanging out with us. I'm glad that everyone enjoyed the dramas. And if they sound interesting, y'all should check them out, all y'all listeners. And as we said before, if you want to hear Jessie and Mike's thoughts about the My Beautiful Man Eternal, the movie, that'll be for the Found Family over on Patreon, because on Patreon, patreon.com/certified Noonas, we put little extra mini episodes and all sorts of fun stuff. So like that's for our Found Family. They're the people who support this podcast. And We love every single member of them. We think they're great. Da, 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 da. And if you're watching this on YouTube, which is one of the many places that you can find us, all of their names are at the end of every video that we update when there's new members of the family joining us. And of course, if you want to listen to more episodes, they're all on YouTube, but they can also be found wherever podcasts are, and also on our website where you can listen to every episode and also check out time codes and links to everything we talk about, and that's certifiednoonas.com, all one word. Anyway, we hope you had a great time hanging out with us for my birthday episode. We will see you next week with our end of the month. How is it already the end of the month roundup of what we're watching? Anyway, so keep enjoying some Asian dramas, wear a mask, wash your hands, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.